All right, so there's been some things said in the last 9 years, and there's talk about what sets me off. And there's been the comments said where it's, oh, Giovanni, see, Giovanni sets him off, or this person sets me off. But no one's actually asked me. And I've been turning around since 2016 and saying, I'm getting monitored and surveillance, that's setting me off. That's it. So, and no one was up front and honest and asked me, for an example, and I've even come forward and said, was like, I remember when I made an entry, so when I got the green card to the US, and I had to make an entry, and it was really bad timing because, and look, not, you can't look, I did not want to destroy all the process I've gone through to get a green card to America. This is back in December 2014. And I said, did I upset anybody? Like, did I upset anyone? Because I said I was fluey. I had a summer cold, and I get so I went from really hot summer in Sydney, having sinus infections, breathing problems, like I've got now, like I get asthma attacks and so forth when all the pollen's blowing around, taking prednisone to flying to New York in a freezing blizzard. I was only there for 10 days. I was in New York the year before, and I love the cold. Don't get me wrong, I love freezing cold, but I love New York. I'm so relaxed. But it was a bad year because my nan had a stroke the year before. There was all this going on in the family. There's all these arguments going on. So it was just it was like a really bad year. I remember going in for my interview going, excuse me. Excuse me. Oh my God, like going for my interview in August 2014 thinking, oh God, what an absolute bad year. Because it was August 2014 and my nan had just had a stroke in August 2013, the year before, 1 year anniversary to her having a stroke. And I was like, oh God, this has just been an absolute nightmare. I'm so tired. Like from August 2013 to August 2014, I felt like I hadn't slept at all. And neither did Gio. Neither did Gio, my partner. But he went through it as well because he was my partner and he adored my nan. And so it was like that. It was like, oh God, like seriously, we were so focused on nan because both myself and my partner Gio really cared about my nan a lot that I don't think we slept for that whole year. I honestly don't think Giovanni and myself, we were so stressed. Oh God, we were stressed. We were. You should have seen us when nan had the stroke. We didn't know what to do. Giovanni as a partner was amazing because he felt the same way for my nan as I felt for my nan. And we were on holidays, on a skiing holiday in New Zealand, and we came back. We just, who cares about the money? Just get back. We've got to see nan. And that's what it was. Like, where other people were just like, oh, we'll get there. Like, my sister was like, oh, we're not going to give up our skiing holiday. My twin sister was skiing down in Perisher Blue, wherever it was. At the same time, I was in New Zealand to go skiing. And we just cut our holiday short, myself and my partner, Giovanni, just to rush home and see. Now, it took us 3 days to get back. We were exhausted. I honestly don't believe we slept for a whole year. From August 2013 to August 2014, I don't think we slept. We were so stressed. I don't think anybody realized how stressed, like literally we were there, like he couldn't cope, I couldn't cope. It's like, oh my God, it's fallen apart. That's what it was like. And no one realized because Lola, my nan, was like my mother. And that's what it was like. He knew, my ex knew. And it was just falling apart for that whole year. So when I made an entry to the US was, like I went to my interview and I was like, I'm exhausted, Gio. And he goes, look, just, you'll be fine. You've gone through the process. You're just going to have the interview. You'll be fine. God, he was like a rock. It was a rock. It was amazing. So he drove me to my interview. I went to the US consulate in MLC building, had my interview. I was like, oh, that was weird. And basically they said, you've got to make an entry before the end of the year. And I was like, we're at the end of the year. It's August. So when I went over at Christmas time, that was just to make an entry and turn around. And I said, did I upset people? There was things going on. Was I too boisterous, too loud, too angry? but that's who I am. I said, like, if you haven't got thick skin, I'm sorry if I've offended you. Just tell me. I don't know. Unless you're going to be upfront and honest and tell me, I don't know. How am I supposed to know? How am I supposed to know what's going on? Unless you're going to be transparent with me. I don't know. But if you keep doing the monitoring and surveillance and harassing me, then you're going to keep setting me off because you're not correcting anything. That's what I've been saying for. So there was that. Then there was 2015. There was some wrong information, some lies. It's like, listen, can you just tell me? Like, the best thing is just to tell me, and I'm like, oh, I can explain that. Can I explain? It's like there was wrong information in Audi because I was joking around. That wasn't real. Or IGA. And it's like, so people think that was real. It's like, no, it wasn't. I can explain this. So is it this? Like, where's your transparency? Why can't you people be normal and speak with me? Instead of talking behind my back and monitoring and surveillance, which is setting me off, why can't you just be normal and speak with me? Just be normal. Say, Justin, this situation in IGA when you went off, that's what's caused it. So I would have turned around and said, oh, okay, well, I was just playing a prank on Mark Hanna. Oh, my dog is a service dog, yes. And the person was wrong with what he tried to do. And maybe I overdid, maybe I maybe that went a bit too overboard. But you've got to be transparent. You're not going to fix anything with doing things behind someone's back. That's just insane. I mean, that's the most insane thing I've ever heard in my entire life. Let's monitor a surveillance and bug somebody. Well, that's insane. You're just going to cause someone to react. Like you've caused me to continuously react. Like my mum would be like, Giovanni sets him off. No, he doesn't. You're an insane nut job. You know, you tried to put your son in a fucking mental institution because he said he had a green card to America. That's insane. When I do have it, that's what she was doing. Or that you were trying to cover up the fact that you're a cunt of a mother. That's insane. What you were doing to your son, sick and twisted. And then you were saying that, and then accusing your son of using drugs. I don't use drugs, but there's sure plenty of people in the world that do. And like I said, do I care? I don't care what other people do. You know, like, there was all this stuff getting made up about me. It's like, 1 minute you're making stories up saying you can't be around people that drink alcohol or do drugs. I'm like, well, Jesus Christ, we live in a world of today where a lot of people do, and you wouldn't know. And I don't. I've barely drunk alcohol, and I'm not a drug user. It's simple. But when I go out, I do drink tonic water, and I like vodka, but I would tell people that I'm having vodka and tonic when really I'm just having tonic water with lime. And that's true. So there's all this weird shit. It's like, why do you keep talking for me? Like, there's one thing after the other, like, and it's all Carol. It's like, no, Giovanni doesn't. It's like the crap to do with, that's right. I was accused of being racist. I'm like, I'm not racist, but I'm going to speak my mind. I'm definitely not racist. Definitely not racist. It was 1 minute he's got problems with Islam and more Muslims, which I never have. I love Muslim men, and I think Islamic Muslim women are the most beautiful, respectful women. Like, seriously, a lot of Australians could learn a lot from Islam. So I've never been against Islam. But I've had one side of the family say, oh, he's racist, he's anti-Islam. And then the other side of my family said, he wants to be Islam. I'm like, no. Like, I've literally had people say that, oh, now he's converted to Islam. I'm like, and what if I did, but what if I did? I'm a Roman Catholic, but what if I did convert to Islam? What if I did? I haven't, but I have studied Islam, and I did study Islam with religious studies at school. But what if I did convert to Islam? What's wrong with Islam? There is nothing wrong with Islam. There is just as many psycho Christians in the world as there is and we're talking about the terrorist radicals, Islamic. But there's freak ass Christians, I'm telling you, in the world. So what if I did convert to Islam? That's the thing. What if I did? Well, I wouldn't, because I've got skin on my penis and I don't want to cut that off. But, what if I did? What is the big deal if I converted to Islam? Seriously. Because and I'm like, no, I didn't. But I don't make myself look Arabic. I look Arabic because of my dad's father. Okay? And that's a fact. And how do we know what he would have been if he was raised by his family? We don't know what Stanley Fleming would have been like because he wasn't raised by his parents. Stanley Fleming was raised by Edith Kavanagh. Okay, he was raised by a spinster who took in orphan boys. So we don't know what my dad's father would have been like growing up. I mean, he's very Arabic looking, my dad's father. That's why I look the way I look like. And I'm grateful of it. And so what's the problem that I do look Arabic? This is the problem. Like when I was in America, it's like, why do you have a problem that I look Arabic? I'm going to turn it back onto you now because you're saying personality disorder. It's like, no, why do you have a problem that I look ethnic or I look Arabic? Why do you have that problem? Because my name's Justin Fleming. Yeah, but I still look Arabic. I can't change this. I look like my dad's father. I don't try to look like I'm ethnic. I don't try to be somebody I'm not. This is who I am. I'm definitely nothing like my mother's side of the family. And skipping a generation, I am more like my dad's father, Stanley Fleming. And I do remember him growing up. And I wish Uncle Tony would find me one of the videos of him when he was like, before he passed away. There was him at the beach. Actually, my cousin Christy Saruni. There's a home video with, I think it's my cousin Christy Saruni when she's a baby, with my pop Stanley Fleming at the beach. And I want that video. And just to hear his voice again. What is the big problem? And this is the thing. And this really has started bugging me in the last 10 years. What is the problem if I look Arabic? What's that problem? This really is going to start highlighting where this is coming from. What is the problem? I don't do it deliberately. I look Arabic. That's because of Stanley Fleming, my dad's father. So and I'm getting really, like, I was really annoyed with this in America as well. It's like, so I look ethnic. I look Arabic. Or I look like another nationality, but I look more Arabic. Let's face it, even Stanley looked more Arabic. Like, I've had Italians look at a photo of my grandfather, Stanley Fleming, and say, oh, he looks Italian. I've had people say, oh, he looks Greek, or he looks this. It's like, yes, we've all said, he just looks ethnic. Can we say he looks ethnic? That's what he looks like. But even his brother-in-law, my dad's uncle, Uncle George, said he thought he was Arabic. He thought he was Lebanese. But we don't know. That's a fact. We actually don't know. But what is the problem? What is the problem if I do? And like the same thing, I'm a Roman Catholic. I'm born and raised Roman Catholic. Roman Catholics right through my mother's side of the family. My mother was a Roman Catholic. My grandmother Lola was a Roman Catholic. My great-grandmother Mary was a Roman Catholic. My great-great-grandmother Julie was a Roman Catholic. Her mother, Bridget Dufresne, was a Roman Catholic. Roman Catholic, Roman Catholic, Roman Catholic. But if I change my religion from Roman Catholic to Islam, what is the big deal? I haven't. But what is the big deal if I did? Do you understand what I'm saying? Why would it be? And if I'm respectful of Islamic religion, because I actually like it, or I like Islamic men, or I like the whole culture, what's the big deal? Like, if I like the culture, what is that big deal? What if it's a big deal if I stand up, and I can go back years ago with this, if I stand up and go, well, I think Islamic men are beautiful. They're soft and gentle and very loving and caring men. They're just beautiful men. I don't see this anger in, or they are angry. I'll say this, they will click, but not what people think. You've got your extreme, like, meaning they're not terrorists, okay? They're not terrorists. Let's just say the truth here. Islam and Muslim is not terrorism. Terrorism is terrorism. Yeah, and I find when I was in America, it's like, oh God, here we go again. You know, just because someone is Arabic or Islamic, you know, it's, yeah, that's not, you know, like, okay, here's the thing. On my social media, I actually had, so I know how to fold the Arabic Islamic scarf. But I had this Islamic scarf that I purchased in Crown Street, Surrey Hills, back in 2006. Okay, so it's nothing new. I have got Islamic music that I've had since the 1990s on CDs. Everyone seems to, okay, Kaf El Damar and Buddha Bar. the mixes of Buddha Bar with Istanbul music on it. That was back in the 90s, and I've still got those CDs. So, what is the problem if I like culture and I like, you know, or what? Because it's not apparently to you, it's not my culture. Excuse me, how do you know what my culture is? What my mother does isn't my culture. What my mother does is different to what her parents did. What her parents did is different to what my nan, my big nan, Mary did, and Uncle Fred did. Different to what Stanley Fleming, my dad's father, did. Everything's different. From one family to the next, the culture and tradition's completely different. We're different religions within my own family. Like, we practice Roman Catholic right through my upbringing. This is my growing up with my mother. My dad doesn't. My mum's sister doesn't. So we're all different. So what does it matter? Like, you want to talk about food that we grew up with? Okay, my nan I grew up eating schnitzel, beautiful schnitzel that my grandmother Lola hammered to death. To that meat was so tender you could cut it with your fork. Absolutely stunning schnitzel, and I love it. Is what my nan used to make. Beautiful. Oh, they talk about she cooked T-bones and whatever as well, but it was schnitzel. And Nan knew schnitzel was my favourite. And she used to cook oh god, I miss it. Cook so much veal schnitzel. That's what Lola cooked. That's true. Shit, what is that? Lola cooked veal schnitzel. That's what my nan cooked. Veal schnitzel with this. Okay, listen here. Veal schnitzel with tomato and onion gravy. Okay? Where I'm eating tomato and onion gravy one day and I turned in and I said, Nan, you know this is Napolitana sauce. Because, Justin, don't be ridiculous. I'm like, Nan, this is exactly how you make Napolitana sauce. Really? But you're calling it tomato and onion gravy, yet Italians call it Napolitana sauce. It's a tomato sauce that you're making with onion and garlic and tomatoes. So that's what Nan used to put on it. But, okay, but, that's what Lola put on it. Okay? My mum, Carol, the only dish my mother could ever bloody cook was stuffed tomatoes. So how did I grow up with food? My mum used to stuff tomatoes, beautiful stuffed tomatoes. She couldn't cook anything else. Fettuccine, actually. Here we go. Yeah. So you want to talk about traditions? Mum cooked fettuccine with potatoes and bacon and cream. Fettuccine Bosciola is the correct name, but that's what Mum cooked. Potato, bacon, mushroom, cream, cheese, fettuccine. That's what Mum used to make. One of her only dishes she could cook. That with stuffed tomatoes was another one she could cook. And the other dish that she used to make was zucchinis and tomatoes and onion fried up. So you want to start talking, this is the whole thing. You want to start talking about what's tradition? Tradition to who? To whose family? To where you lived. What else do we have? Barbecue chicken, or my mum used to cook a lot. Barbecue chicken. She used to cook so much barbecue chicken because she didn't like red meat. But my grandparents didn't. You'll never see chicken in my grandparents' house. So my mum's parents never had chicken. My mum always had chicken. So what traditions do you want? Barbecue is what my mum always cooked. What do you call when you put meat, onion, and what's she put? Capsicum on a stick, and put that on the barbecue. There you go. So like it's a bit ridiculous because there is no we're not stereotype. There you go. Simple. We're not stereotype. So if you want to say what set Justin off, gaslighting. Why don't you just ask me and then take what I'm telling you to be the truth? Gaslighting sets me off. You just denied me the truth, lied about me, thought I was some, Skippy, whatever, like my cousins on dad's side. Like, I look at them, a great example. Here we go. I grew up with a lot of coffee culture. Where we lived in Rooty Hill when I was young, there was a cafe just down the road. Mum didn't get home from the bloody office until late at night. Okay? We used to get off I used to get off the school bus, walk down to Rooty Hill Road to the coffee shop with Graydon and get coffee. Sometimes we weren't allowed to walk across the train tracks, but we did. There was a walk bridge over the top. So we used to walk from Rooty Hill side over to the other side where St Aidan's school was. And sometimes we used to meet Rebecca Johnson, which is not Rebecca Johnston, not Johnson. So our friend from school had a very similar name to our cousin. Anyway, Rebecca Johnson's married Alex Posey, and that's now Rebecca Posey. And yeah, and then we moved, and Mum moved. I was like, okay, well, I still grew up with cafe culture because every Wednesday I used to go to the Coffee Bean with a group of friends every Wednesday. So I grew up with cafe culture, not pub culture, cafe culture. If my mum wanted to go to a pub with her sister, that's fine, but I'm not a pub guy. Do you understand? So what's your culture to what? To me? Or you want to know this person, this family member is over here's culture and traditions? Do you want to know my culture and traditions or my cousins? Because that cousin's different to that cousin, to different to that cousin, that different to that auntie, different to that auntie, different to my mother, different to my father. We are all different. We're from the same family, but we are all extremely different. We're a barrel of licorice, all sorts. Okay, there's nothing similar about any of us. And that's what makes a family. And we're like the United Nations. We're all together, but we're completely different.